Hello everyone, this is Gage from Gundorian Smith, and today, oh man, today we have an absolute banger of a video. Now this one is actually a 3 versus 5 siege of Dale, and if you could not tell from the title, this has over 18,000 goblins, or, well, technically orcs and Uruks from the Misty Mountains, so yeah, 18,000 goblins versus, I believe, just over 7,000 men of Dale. This is actually 3 defending Dale armies versus 5 attacking Misty Mountains armies. I don't remember the rules. I don't think they're really that important because this battle was actually quite some time ago. This is played on 0.91, obviously. It was not very balanced battle. I'm obviously not going to tell you who won, but it's going to be kind of obvious in a bit here. Mainly, the main reason that made it kind of unbalanced was the fact that all five of the attacking armies brought 2 units of Blackback Mountain Berserkers and 2 units of Blackwatch Legions. So that's like 10 of each, which is pretty dang insane. And in addition to that, because the rest of the Misty Mountains army, the rest of the Misty Mountains units are so cheap, they were still able to field reasonably elite full stacks of armies. But anyway, without further ado, I guess I'll go ahead and go lightly over the army compositions. I'm not going to go in totally deep into the army compositions, especially because they're all the armies are very similar because they're played by the same factions. So the defenders are myself commanding one of the armies of Dale, Dark Elven King defending over here, and the last defender is ZYX defending this gate. Now, if you guys would like to know, I was supposed to split my forces because there's only 3 players. We obviously can't each defend a whole section of the citadel, so we had to kind of split it up. So I was supposed to split my army in 2 and defend this whole gate and wall, and also this one over here. So I was supposed to defend the south wall and gate and the east wall and gate, whereas Dark Elven King was supposed to go down, well, technically up over here, and he was to defend against the north gate. Now, our reasoning behind this was because Dark Elven King would only have to face this one gate because there were, in fact, 2 players here. I will do. Shout out to Lango's mom. Anyway, so yeah, he was going to defend this one wall and gate against 2 enemy attacking players, and because we didn't have very much communication with ZYX, we told him he would be fine just defending this one wall and gate against the single attacker. But anyway, so the army compositions, I believe we all have. Yeah, so I have, I believe, 4 units of Dalian Spearmen. Not a bad spear unit, 11 attack, 32 defense. Obviously, they're very good on the defensive side of things, so they're going to be very good in this type of situation. They actually are also AP, so with the high attack speed of spears, they should rack up quite a lot of kills. ZYX, I believe, has 2 units of Dale Swordmasters, along with 1 unit of Dalian Paladins. He actually, I don't even remember the money, but apparently it must have been very high because he also brought 2 units of Dale Dragon Slayers. Some Hearth Watchmen. I brought 1 unit of Earls. I believe that was the only cavalry unit in the game. I brought 2 units of Barding Herd, 3 units of the Dalian Marksmen, 1 unit of the Dale Dragon Slayers, which is where my general is, 4 units of the LakeTown Infantry, which when paired with the Dalian Spearmen will not do bad at all. And also on the walls, I believe the defending units have a small bonus. I'm not too positive about that, but it definitely seems like it just from playing a lot of sieges. So on the walls, they should do reasonably well. You can see more of my infantry over here. More spearmen, more marksmen should also be over here. I've got 1 unit of dismounted Earls, and I believe 2 units of Dalian Paladins, along with 1 unit of Dale Swordsmasters. Here's some marksmen, spearmen. And then over here, we can take a look at Dark Elven King's army very quickly. He's got some LakeTown Spearmen, not by any means as good as the LakeTown Infantry, mostly because spears in this game, with a few exceptions, aren't the greatest, especially low-tier spears like the LakeTown Spearmen. Dalian Spearmen will do much better. He's also got some Barding Herd, Dalian Spearmen, Dalian Marksmen, LakeTown Infantry, Avari Elder Pikemen, so very similar Dalian armies, not too surprising at all, to be honest. I believe he also has 2 units of Paladins, some Marksmen, maybe some Royal Guard, though, instead of Dale Dragon Slayers, or maybe both. And over here we've got ZYX, who has dismounted Earls, 2 of them, I believe, some Dalian Paladins, Avari Elder Archers. Now these guys are nice because they actually do have the Elven Accuracy, but they obviously don't have the shield bonus of the Dalian Marksmen, and I don't think have quite as high damage. Again, he's got some LakeTown Infantry, more Avari Elder Archers, and then over here he's got some Swordmasters, and some more Avari Elder Pikemen. Now, I'm not going to go over the Misty Mountains armies because they are obviously all very similar, but I will go over what the players' names are. So one of the first attackers is that of Pharaoh. He's got Blackback Mountain Berserkers, Black Earth Warband, Orc bodyguards, mountain orc berserkers, heavy goblin crossbows, heavy goblin archers, catapult crew, snow trolls, Blackwatch Legion, and just pretty standard attacking Misty Mountains armies. Again, oh, they've also got Black Uruks of the mountains. He actually split off a large portion of his force over here to go and help out his ally over here, which is Avocati Fallen, which is not a bad idea because his units here will prevent me from sending over a large portion of my forces to this other wall that I'm supposed to be defending, which means it's going to be very difficult for me to hold this eastern wall. Anyway, as I already stated before, the second attacker is Avocati Fallen. He's got a very similar army. Black Uruks of the Mountain, heavy goblin infantry, heavy goblin crossbows, 2 units of mountain Uruk archers, surprisingly, 2 heavy goblin crossbows. I think I just said that. He's actually got 3 mountain Uruk pikes, so those guys are going to be very good at dealing with my Earls. Well, if they can catch them anyway. 2 units of Blackwatch Legion, and he's got 2 hidden units of Black Uruks of, or no, mountain, Blackback Mountain Berserkers, I believe that's what they're called. Sorry, I may have been saying their name wrong this whole time, but I knew I did it. Well, I got it right eventually. Then over here, the 2 attackers that Dark Elven King will be defending against. You can see this horde of goblins right here are Ragnar and the Dutchman, both with very similar armies. Blackbacks, Blackwatch Legion, and Goblin Infantry, and Mountain Earth Blaze, and the like. Also some catapults and trolls. And then the 5th and final attacker is McDonald's Service. So, as you can see, there is not a lot of hope for the men of Dale here. They've got a huge settlement that they're going to have to try to defend against just absolute hordes and hordes of goblins. Oh my gosh, this was bad. This is a bad idea. I don't know why I ever thought this would be a good idea. If anything, I probably should have made a limit of like 1 Blackwatch Legion and 1 Blackback Mountain Berserker per army. Then we wouldn't have had to deal with 10 of each. But whatever. We'll go ahead and start the replay. You will probably know it's going to be super laggy, at least for a while, until some units start dying off. Something I could do to help that, though, is actually slow it down a bit. You can see my archers, my Dalian marksmen on the walls are already firing. Right away, I wanted to try to target these Blackback Mountain Berserkers, but Pharaoh doesn't seem to be too concerned about taking very many losses there, especially because they are behind the siege tower. But I'm assuming he also knows that there are 8 other units of Blackback Mountain Berserkers who will be very tough for us to deal with anyways. You can see my Earls are going to come out and try to harass the enemy, while this contingent of his forces are going to go over and help out Avocati Fallen. And Avocati Fallen, as well as Ragnar and the Dutchman, begin their assaults very quickly. You can see 4 rams already moving forward, as well as a 4 towers moving forward, as well as a ram. And then over here you can see a ton of the rams of Dutchman and Ragnar are already moving forward. This is going to be very difficult, very troublesome to Dark Elven King, because he's not going to be able to fire his archers and get as many kills as he would have without the towers. But again, that's one of the main reasons why people bring towers instead of ladders. So he's going to have to run his Dalian marksman off pretty quickly. However, he still is going to be able to fire for a decent amount of time. Probably going to try to target, yeah, it looks like he's targeting his Black Uruks of the Mountain, which is not a bad idea at all, because they are, of course, shock infantry and very susceptible to arrows. Let's go see how ZYX is doing. Looks like it's just more of the same happenings over here. Looks like actually the catapult of McDonald's Service is about to take out a decent amount of our Elder Archers if ZYX is not careful. So that's going to be an unfortunate loss if he does not run his archers out of there in time. Oh, yeah, those decent amount of those archers are going to die. Dalian Paladins and Dismounted Earls will be able to hold this for a long amount of time, for a long period of time. However, if he does push his Blackwatch Legion through and use the shield wall push, then it's going to be very, very bad for ZYX. Archers just firing all across the way, and again, here's McDonald's Services troops going over here. Pharaoh is not going to be very aggressive over here on this wall, at least not yet, because he knows that I'm going to have to focus a lot of my attention over there where Avocati Fallen is. But because he's leaving actually a decent amount of troops over here, he is forcing me to leave actually a large portion of my forces over here on this wall, where they would rather, they'd be better served over here. We can actually see the fight on the wall is about to begin. You can see these Black Uruks of the Mountain about to go after my Dalian Spearmen. I've run all my archers off the wall over here, and I'm about to get them in a better position to fire. Barding Herd, Dismounted Earls are sitting over here, running off my archers and spearmen right here to help out, to help fight against these heavy goblin infantry. We'll take a look over here because I believe the siege towers are, yes, looks like they are about to get on the wall if they're not already. Yes. So the Dutchman is about to begin his fight against Dark Elven King, who's running off his Dalian marksman and bringing forward his Dalian spearmen and Dale and LakeTown infantry to go over here. Now this right here, I don't think Dark Elven King actually noticed this portion of the wall going down, because as soon as this portion of the wall goes down, you're going to see it take great effect on the defense over here. He's going to be able, the two attackers over here are going to be able to just run a lot of units back here and attack Dark Elven King from behind. Not to mention go all the way up through here and attack ZYX. So yeah, there goes that wall. Oh, the lag. The lag is real. I'm sorry about that, but again, when you have 18,000 orcs and 25,000 troops total, it's going to lag quite a bit. Oh my gosh, I would hate to be from LakeTown or Dale right now. This would just be the suckiest situation to be in. I mean, look how many rams there are. That's just intense. Barding Herd, pretty thin on the grounds here on this wall, but again, they are AP halberd units, so they should do very well against the heavily armored infantry units of the Misty Mountains. Over here, these LakeTown Spearmen are going to be no match at all for, with these Blackback Mountain Berserkers. There's actually 2 units of Blackbacks here. So Dark Elven King is definitely going to have to bring some units over here to support those Spearmen if he wants to hold that portion of the wall for any length of time. Ladders are going up now. You can see my Spearmen are about to engage in the fight with the Heavy Goblin Infantry. More towers getting closer. The Ram of Evocati Fallen is about to get to one of my gates. And over here, again, I'm just firing a lot. I do want to save some of my ammo, but I was targeting his catapult actually, which no, actually I didn't target my catapult. I didn't target him with my archers. I actually believe I charged the archers down with my cavalry, which you can see is getting currently chased by these snow trolls. So I'm going to try to run these guys out of here, but they're not going to be silent for long, because I know because we're so horrendously outnumbered, I'm going to have to do something with these guys pretty drastic. So I am actually going to go after some heavy goblin crossbowmen eventually. Maybe some mountain archers as well. Okay, there goes the gate on ZYX's side. I believe that is the west side of Dale. Heavy goblin infantry. Oh my. Black Orcs the mountain over here. About to put another pressure point here on my wall. I've got some dismounted earls over here to fight against these heavy goblin infantry, and I actually am going to be forced to bring these of Dalian paladins up here to deal with these Black Orcs of the mountain with the ladders. Dalian spearmen still just sitting there waiting for the fight to begin. Oh yeah, you can tell fighting's going on over here because it's getting laggy. Actually, looks like I was horrendously wrong. The fight has not begun. Actually, I take it back, yeah. So Dalian Spearmen fighting hard against some Black Orcs of the Mountain who are taking some pretty bad losses. Over here, though, you can see Blackback Mountain Infantry of the Dutchmen. I believe they came in through this hole, which you can see some Goblin Infantry are now doing. They're going up on this wall and attacking the LakeTown Infantry, who are shaken already. So they're attacking them from behind, and the Mountain Earth Blades are attacking them from the other side. So these LakeTown Infantry are in a very bad spot. You can see the Dalian Marksman of Dark Elven King hopefully going to target these Blackback Mountain Infantry on the walls, and he's got his unit of Avari Elder Pikemen here to stop the attackers from attacking his flank. But you're going to see something very bad happen to those guys very quickly. Okay, that was on the east side of my gate. Mountain Earth Blades. Now, unfortunately, because Dark Elven King was not able to stop up this hole, it's going to allow the Dutchmen and Ragnar to pour forces through this way and attack our ally ZYX from the side. You can see a lot of our Avari Elder Archers went down from that wall. Ooh, yeah. A lot of them went down there. Black Orcs of the Mountain, Dalian Paladins, about to fight against some Black Orc Warband. Fight on the walls against LakeTown Infantry, well, between LakeTown Infantry and Black Uruks. There goes another hole in the wall, so you can see our defense is already starting to have some major issues. Dismounted Earls will be able to hold reasonably well against the Black Uruks. Over here, Swordmasters. The Swordmasters and Avari Elder Pikemen are going to have some difficulty against the Blackwatch Legion, but because McDonald's Service sent the Blackwatch Legion up on the walls rather than through the gate, it means they're not going to actually be able to use their shield wall pushing formation. So they will be able to stay up here on the walls for a length of time, but eventually they will be cut down. You can see that over here it looks like Pharaoh might, you know, he actually waits quite a long time before he actually does begin the attack over here. But I don't know if anything else is gone. My Earls are still sitting back there. I believe I did get a couple nice charges off on the... Okay, I'm going to pause it for a second. I believe I did get a couple nice charges off on the Heavy Goblin Crossbowmen. But right here, Avocati Fallen did a very nice play right here with his Blackback Mountain Berserkers. He had them hidden just right at the very edge of his deployment zone. And as soon as this gate went down, he just pushed them forward very quickly, which is definitely a very good idea because they're so fast. They will be able to get here very quickly and not suffer much archer fire from my marksmen, who you can see are going back through the street to get a better firing position. But because the Heavy Goblin Infantry, as well as both of the units of Blackback Mountain Berserkers are here, my Barding Herd are going to fall very quickly, which is why you're going to see me commit my second unit of Dalian Paladins over there, as well, I believe, as some Dale Swordmasters of mine. Also, I forgot to mention that both Dark Elven King and I have a catapult in the city center. But we really didn't have the troops to put very many units back here. It looks like, actually, I think I was the only one that didn't put units back here, but, you know, whatever. Anyway, we'll take a look back over here at the main fight. You can see my Paladins here. I committed against these Black Uruks of the mountain. Now, the Black Uruks are going to struggle very, very hard against my Dalian Paladins. They should have no issues taking out those Uruks. Over here, dismounted Earls, again, not going to have too much trouble taking out these Heavy Goblin Infantry. Spearmen are doing a good job against the Heavy Goblin Infantry over here. Now, actually, I believe that Avocati Fallen does the same thing as McDonald's Service, and he puts his Blackwatch Legion up here on the wall, which is good for us because that means they can't do the shield wall push. But right here, you're going to see my Barding Herd fall very, very quickly, which, I mean, I'm trying to fire. You can see some arrows of my marksmen firing straight into those blackbacks, but because of their hit points and high defense values, it's really not going to do that much damage, and they're just going to be able to break through my Barding Herd very, very quickly, which is going to be incredibly, incredibly unfortunate for me. You're going to see what happens in just a bit here. I'm also you can see my Swordmaster back there, but I've also got my catapult. It's going to start firing over this gate kind of soon. Dalian Spearmen starting to struggle against these Black Uruks Mountain as well as against these Heavy Goblin Infantry who are attacking them from the rear. So I have brought this unit of LakeTown Infantry to attack those Goblin Infantry from behind. And you can see I'm bringing over some more LakeTown Infantry as it is. We've got a lot of LakeTown Infantry. They're very cheap, pretty cost effective, especially against the lower tier units. Again, Pharaoh's doing a rather slow assault over on that side. Over here, Blackwatch Legion doing quite well against the Avari Elder Pikemen. Swordmasters are still holding strong against the Blackwatch Legion. And it looks like there's some more Swordmasters over there. Going through the... Okay, I don't understand what those Hearth Watchmen are doing, but whatever. Fights on the walls still going on over here between the Earls and Black Uruk Warband climbing up from the ladders. More fights on the walls. It's just the same story everywhere. Dale's kind of struggling to hold on. Dalian Paladins and LakeTown Infantry holding very well at the gate. Actually, you can see that ZYX's second unit of dismounted Earls actually pushed out very, very far. Unfortunately, that does mean they're going to get cut down because of it, but they were able to do a decent amount of damage. However, McDonald's Service has lost a lot of troops, so it looks like he's not even going to be able to exploit these two holes in the wall right here quite yet. I believe also some of the units, some of the Misty Mountains Army units actually did bring over some wards as well. Pikemen holding the line here, but again, because the Uruks were able to just walk around this way, you can see they came all the way around this path and then are now attacking these Dalian Marksmen from behind. The Dalian Marksmen, if they were able to get in formation, they would be able to do very well against these Mountain Uruk Blades because they are AP and melee because they're axes. Because they're getting flanked so hard, I don't think they're going to be doing very well at all. Dale Dragon Slayer is coming over here from ZYX. Yeah, he has 2 units of them. I don't even remember why the money was that high. But, yeah. Wall fight with Dark Elven King is still going on. Heavy Goblin Spears fighting against some Barding Herd. Oh my gosh. Just look! Look at this horde of Blackback Mountain Infantry from Ragnar, or Blackback Mountain Berserkers. Even the Dale Swordmasters are going to fall relatively quickly to the Blackbacks. That's just how strong they are. We'll take a look over here now. You can see, even for a siege, it's really not that long of a battle. Spear's still holding strong here, but there are some Blackwatch Legion coming up, so that's going to definitely not be too good for them. Dismounted Earls still fighting Dalian Paladins, still holding strong with the Black Uruks. Okay, and now I'm going to pause it again. You can see that my Barding Herd are just getting absolutely murdered right now. You can see that my Dale and Marksmen actually were getting attacked as well, but I have got some Dale and Paladins here, as well as some Dale Swordsmasters to hopefully get there to stop the bleeding before it gets too horrible. However, you're gonna see I was a bit too late. Blackwatch Legion catapult. There's a catapult back there. Over here, my spearmen are pretty much all but dead. However, I do have 2 units of LakeTown infantry over here now fighting against the Black Orcs of the Mountain, as well as against the heavy goblin infantry. Now, on the wall, this is just going to be a very grindy fight, just like always. But the LakeTown infantry should be able to come out on top of that. Pharaoh again, just having a very slow, timely assault. So I'm just kind of sitting here with a decent amount of forces. I probably should have pulled more back, but I was just worried that if I pulled back too many, Pharaoh would attack and I wouldn't have enough to stop anything here. I actually pulled off all of my archers here because I wanted to bring them all over to help out on that east wall, because that is definitely where they're needed to fire at those blackbacks. Dale Swordmasters cutting down some mountain berserkers. Blackwatch Legion still holding strong, but they are starting to get kind of surrounded now. Well, not really, but just the Blackwatch Legion. They're holding those Dale Swordsmasters and Davari Elder Pikemen there for so long. That's definitely not going to be good for ZYX. McDonald's Service still has more units now pouring in through the gate, but again, the LakeTown Infantry and Paladins should be more than a match for that, at least for the time being. And more Orcs from the Dutchman and Ragnar are going to be flanking around this hole here. Avari Elder Pikemen holding strong there. However, looks like there's some heavy Goblin crossbows right here. So if Dark Elm King is not paying attention, he could lose his entire unit of pikemen right there to crossbows, which would not be good. But again, I'm not going to be surprised if he did lose micro of them, because I mean, there's just so much crap going on right now on his side. The Dutchman has blackbacks over here, so he's getting pinned by blackbacks on both sides of his wall now. You can see the blackbacks are just cutting down his units left and right. He's trying to stop them with some dismount arrows, but again, that's not going to be enough. He's still got units here defending the gate, but there's really no choice of he really can't pull them back now at this point because of the ram coming up now. Trolls on the wall. Really, this is the only point where he has any strength left. He's still got archers, but if he wants to hold these portions of the wall, he needs them to start firing at these blackbacks over here. We're still incredibly healthy. We'll look over here on the east wall now. Blackwatch Legion now fighting against my Dalian Spearmen. Infantry and Blackwatch Legion still fighting against my dismounted Earls. My Paladin still holding strong. Okay, now this is where things got kind of interesting. You can see that we've got Dalian Marksmen here, and my Swordsmasters and Paladins. Now, they got here. Now the thing, well, you'll see, because they got here kind of in time. You can see that a lot of Orcs and Goblins and Uruks are marching in now, but my Swordsmasters and Paladins were able to stop them from marching forward. Ooh, narrow miss right there by my catapult. Oh, that's a good hit right there. Especially on the Blackback non-berserkers. Let's see if they go down by very many. No, not by very many. Ooh, another good hit. Okay, yeah, actually, a lot of those berserkers did go down. Anyway, but because my Paladins and Swordmasters were a little bit too late, they're only going to be able to hold this portion of the street, which is going to leave these 2 side passages open to the enemy, which is going to really cause the same issue that happened over there with Dark Elven King. I believe my Earls, yeah, they're still trying to do some stuff, but they're about to get caught by the Snow Trolls, so. Most of my Spearmen here are dead, but the Orcs are here getting surrounded by me. LakeTown Infantry. And I believe that was Pharaoh finally battering down the gate right here. But I've got more than a match for his units right here. I've got some Dalian Spearmen and some Barding Herd. And because there aren't the Blackbacks here, the Barding Herd will be able to do much better than over there on that east gate. Especially because they are being backed by some Dalian Spearmen. Let's take a look at what else is going on. Avari Elder Archers. Archers of ZYX still just kind of sitting around. Mountain Eric Blades and McDonald's Service coming up. They just have seemingly endless amounts of goblins. It's pretty insane. You can see that ZYX is starting to struggle now because of the flanking units of Dutchman and Ragnar. His units at the gate are starting to be cut down. So this definitely is not looking good for the defenders at the moment. Oh my. I feel so bad for these Avari Elder Pikemen. It looks like Dark Elven King accidentally did lose micro on them, so they're just getting shot point blank by the crossbows. That's a very unfortunate thing to happen right there, because that's a very expensive unit. That's very cost effective and can do a lot of damage. Marksmen still holding their own against those rather cheap units. And over here, Dark Elven King is just starting to really struggle. You can see he's got his Royal Guard over here trying to fire and help out. Blackwatch Legion surrounding these units here. The Alien Paladins now being brought up on the wall, but these freaking Blackback Mountain Berserkers, man, they're so good. So good. Especially when you can bring 2 of them. So this whole battle we were facing against 10 units of Blackback Mountain Berserkers, as well as like maybe 9. I think only 9 units of Blackwatch Legion. But for the most part, the power of the Blackwatch Legion was not that much of an issue, because most of them were sent up on the walls. But still, that's Dark Elven King's Gate going down. Oh man. You can see my spearmen are starting to get pushed back. Same with the Earls. Over here you can actually see that... Oh my gosh. I need to pause it every once in a while just to give myself a break from the lag. Not to mention you guys. So my Black Uruks... Not mine. My Paladins are still holding strong against the Black Uruks, however, because, like I said, these passages were left open because my Paladins and Swordsmasters were not able to get there in time. You can see that this unit of Blackback Mountain Berserkers is going to start attacking my Paladins from behind. And the Paladins have been fighting for a long time, but so have the Berserkers. So it's going to be very close battle here. And you can see that because my Dalian Paladins and Swordmasters are so good, they are actually doing a very good job of taking out these units here on the gate. But I was really creaming my pants right now, because I was worried he was going to send a bunch of units through this way, and then maybe like attack my infantry from behind and stuff, who you can see are starting to struggle, which is why I'm also bringing over some Dalian Marksmen over here to try to get some... I believe I'm bringing 2 units of Dalian Marksmen over here to put 1 here, and the other one is going to be over here to fire flanking volleys into these units. But we'll see how that turns out. You can actually see some Heavy Goblin Crossbowmen of Evocati Fallen. Going to go up this, either the ladders or the ram right here to get up on the wall to get into a position, into a firing position. Oh my gosh. This is not good at all. You can see already the city of Dale burns. I believe if that's actually from the fire from my own catapult. No, I'm still firing at that gate, that eastern gate. Oh my goodness, the walls are falling to the enemy. No, this is not okay. Yep, and there goes that entire unit basically of our Elder Pikemen, just shot to death by the Heavy Goblin Crossbows, who are now going to march over to ZYX's side. And these Black Urk Warband are going to march past the dead bodies of these Elven mercenaries and continue flanking units of Dark Elven Kings. Very unfortunate loss right there. Oh, yeah, and see the gate now of ZYX is getting... The troops defending the gate here of ZYX are getting surrounded. Again, there goes actually some breaking, but the Dalian Paladins are so strong. As long as they don't break, they should still be able to hold here for at least a short period of time. Let's see how the Blackwatch Legion are doing over here, though. ZYX is actually still holding rather strongly right here. I mean, you can actually see Pharaoh's Blackback Mountain Berserkers are coming over here now. The Blackwatch Legion are still on the walls here fighting against the Swordmasters and Elder Avari Pikemen. I've still got 1 health unit. Yeah. So now Pharaoh's just sending reinforcements pretty much just everywhere. He does have a large portion of troops here attacking this gate. A few of them are sneaking through, but I've got troops enough to plug up that hole. Over here, more fighting just going on. Looks like a big push right now by Evocati Fallen, as well as some of Pharaoh's troops. You can see that my... So this... Oh my gosh. The delay. So another issue happened over here. Well, this unit of Dalian Marksman was actually nearing out of ammo, but obviously I was trying to target these Blackbacks, but again, because I had no troops here to stop them, the Blackbacks just ran out here and are now engaging my Dalian Marksmen in melee. Even though there are 150 of them and they do have AP in melee, these 83 Blackback Mountain Berserkers will be more than enough to deal with my Dalian Marksmen. Over here, though, most of Pharaoh and Evocati Fallen's units are really thinning out. My Paladins and Swordmasters are really racking up the kills here. Over here, the other unit of Blackback Mountain Berserkers is cutting down my second unit of Dalian Paladins. Earls are trying to hold back these Blackwatch Legion, and the same is for these Dalian Spearmen. I don't actually remember what happened. I just saw these Mountain Uruk Archers of Fair are marching around, but I feel like he might have lost micro on them, which is unsurprising considering how many units he had. Well, all the attackers had, because I think there was like marching around to the streets the whole rest of this battle, not even doing anything. But anyway, as it's paused, we'll take a look over here at what's going on. Dragon Slayers, it looks like they're trying to take out these Mountain Berserkers, while Swordmasters and Dale Marksmen who are out of ammo are trying to hold back that horde of evil. Burning Herd, Blackwatch Legion. Oh, there's still so many goblins, so many goblins. Fight at the gate has not begun at all, though. I think it's Ragnar's again just going to skirmish down those units there with his crossbows. And then over here, oh, things are just looking very badly over here. That hole in the wall that was not plugged up early is really starting to prove a nuisance for the defenders. Paladin's still barely holding on over here. Earl's not doing bad, same with Swordmasters. Blackwatch Legion really starting to push against those Hearth Watchmen. There's also some more units over here. And yes, the Blackback Mountain Berserkers of Pharaoh, it looks like they're going to that gate over there. Which, they're going to be very good at pushing through those Paladins. My Dragon Slayers, by the way, have been firing at the expensive units, like the Blackwatch Legion, I believe, and maybe some Berserkers, but I don't know. Infantry still holding strong there on the wall. Mountain Berserkers still cutting down my Dale and Marksmen, and more units over here at the gate are being committed. You can see there's the Mountain Uruk Archers of Pharaoh just running around, but I'm not going to really bother with them because he did actually lose micro of them. So I just leave these Dale and Marksmen here, and I'm just going to try to fire at the I fire at the 74 Blackback Mountain Berserkers here, and also at the Mountain Berserkers that are and Goblin Infantry over here that are fighting against my Marksmen. My Paladins up on the wall are doing okay. Well, not really. They were able to take out pretty much everything of those Black Earths. There's only 45 left, but being attacked from the rear by these Blackback Mountain Berserkers has really boded ill for them. Dismounted Earl still holding strongly, actually, against these Blackwatch Legion. And what's left of those Goblin Infantry. My Dalian Spearmen are doing not very well against the Blackwatch Legion on this side. And Dark Elven King is still just struggling against the horde of goblins. You can see that he's got some Royal Guard in melee now, actually. A lot of more of our Elder Pikemen, and now Lakeland Infantry are getting shot from the front by those crossbows. And over here, the Blackbacks of the Dutchmen have got off the wall and are going to begin flanking around. So this whole portion of the castle is pretty much lost, which is going to bode very, very ill for CYX, who is barely holding on as it is. Got my last unit of Dalian Marksmen marching around. Don't know where they're going. He's got his... CYX says his Dale Dragon Slayer is firing this whole time, by the way, so they're racking up a ton of kills. Oh my goodness, those freaking Blackwatch Legion are still alive. I don't understand. They're so strong. See a lot of Pharaoh's troops coming around now towards this gate, but my infantry, spearmen, and barding herd are stemming that tide right there of goblins. Got another unit of like infantry here, waiting in case Pharaoh picks up a tower. And it looks like, oh, catapult hits close. Okay, yeah, and now my unit of Dalian Marksmen that actually has just run out of ammo is being now engaged in melee by these 48 Blackbacks, who actually stopped attacking my Paladins, which is going to leave them open to take out the rest of these Black Urks of the mountain, and hopefully move on to taking out these crossbows, who are a real nuisance right now, shooting my Paladins and Swordmasters here, who have been holding on for just so long. I feel so bad for them. They were holding on so well, and now they're just kind of getting wrecked by crossbows. Trying to push my Dalian Marksmen through these Goblin Infantry and stop units from coming through. It looks like he's Evocati Fallen's actually trying to push his catapult through, which is, again, not a bad idea. And if you will excuse me, I'm going to have to go for a bit. I will be back continuing this commentary in a bit. So I will see you guys in a few minutes, I guess. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll just continue this video now. Finally back. Okay, yep, the lag didn't really go away. Let's take a look at the percentages. So 50% of the defenders have been defeated, and 39% of the attackers. See that catapult shot going a little too close for my liking. I'm trying to get over here. So you can see my paladins and swordmasters still holding strong, but starting to go down a bit more. Now you can see my 105 Dale marksmen that had been engaged by the berserkers are now being committed over here to kind of plug up this hole to not allow any more units to go over this way. However, you can see that they were too late, because you can see that these 59 blackback mountain berserkers actually came around here and are now cutting down my poor LakeTown infantry, who are actually wavering now, cutting down from behind, which is very, very bad for me, because that means it's going to free up these goblin infantry and what's left of those blackback mountain berserkers to destroy the rest of my units on the wall, and then just come down and sweep away my defense over here at this eastern gate. And at the same time, you can see my other unit of Dale and marksmen getting cut down by the rest of these blackbacks. However, my paladins, working their the last of my paladins over on this wall, are working their way through the last of these black Orcs of the mountain, and then they will hopefully get into these heavy goblin crossbows, who are very poor in melee, so they're going to suffer quite heavily from that if he isn't running away. Dismounted Earls still trying to hold their best against the Blackwatch Legion. More just slowing them down. Dale and Spearmen laid down to 67 now against the other unit of Blackwatch Legion. Take a look over. Whoa, my gosh. There's those random mountain archers that are just like marching around the whole game. Dark Elven King still kind of struggling pretty heavily against these blackbacks, and just kind of in the other area as well. But he's still doing okay, I guess. Mostly the real troubles he's having is right here at this gate, where these blackbacks are cutting down his Royal Guard, along with all the rest of his defending units here. So looks like he's actually pulling back some of his units to try to stop this flanking force. But it's not really going to be that effective, because his blackbacks are in hot pursuit of those Royal Guard. So this northern gate, this battle on the northern face of the city of Dale is not looking too good. Looks like there's some more forces going to go through this hole and attack ZYX from behind. He's actually committed 2 of his units of Dale Dragonslayers here, as well as a bunch of his archers, so he's still holding on to this gate very, very well. Really, though, there's not that many units. I mean, it's just kind of poor, like, low-tier units over here that he's fighting against. However, there are some blackbacks marching in, so that will definitely up the tier of units that are attacking that gate. Dismounted Earls now coming off the wall, trying to chase down these mountain Orc blades. Looks like those guys are actually routing. Oh yeah, now the Swordmasters are really starting to struggle against the Blackwatch Legion, as well as some heavy goblin infantry and mountain Orc berserkers. So yeah, it's kind of surprising. I'm just now pulling off this last unit of spearmen. There's Blackwatch Legion, Black Uruks of Pharaohs marching around more. I'm still holding relatively strongly here. You can see that Pharaoh has made a decent amount of headway. He's got his Orc bodyguards unit there. I'm actually going to try to I'm actually trying to pull off my Dale Dragonslayers, but unfortunately I accidentally pulled them out this way, so they're going to get stuck in the melee and lose a few troops there. I believe I'm actually going to lose my general there, unfortunately. Oh, excuse me. I was a little bit stuffed. Pulling off my LakeTown infantry as well. I probably should have just brought my Dragonslayers down this way, then they wouldn't have suffered any harm, but still. You can see that the blackbacks were able to completely destroy that unit of LakeTown infantry from behind. So now there's just these 67 to try to hold back these heavy goblin infantry, and that's going to free up these blackbacks to once again attack my units from behind. This time they're going to go after these Dale and marksmen. I still am kind of holding firmly here. Not super great. Let's see, I've got 20 paladins. I believe I was trying to make them go after the crossbows, but I actually made them go after these mountain archers who were up on the wall, but they're actually running away now. Over here you can see my poor marksmen. There's only 43 of them left. Are still getting absolutely butchered by those 29 blackback mountain berserkers. I've actually pulled back my final unit of Dale and marksmen here, because I'm pretty much planning for the last stand now in the city center, because I've got not a lot left. So I'm going to pull this unit of marksmen back here to hold there, and I'm also going to have my spearmen hold over here. You can actually see I'm pulling back a lot of reserves back here. This unit of LakeTown infantry also is going to go back there. We'll take a look at what's going on with ZOX. He's actually pulling back both of his units of Dale Dragonslayers, it looks like. So all around, the defenders are pretty much just doing a full-scale retreat. Ooh, yeah, the blackbacks are actually now creeping around the side, and the crossbows of the Dutchmen are going to fire right into those of our Elder Archers, which is going to do a great deal of damage. Blackwatch Legion, Mountain Orc Pikes, definitely not looking too good for the defenders right now. There's so So many blackbacks. You can see that the last of Dark Elven King's forces are being swept away. He's actually retreating a decent amount of his troops. Barding Herd trying to hold back those Blackwatch Legion. Enough for those Dale Marksmen to retreat, along with some Dale Paladins and Dale Swordmasters. So Dark Elven King is trying to beat a retreat to the city center before his units get caught out in the streets of Dale and surrounded. So you can see we're just basically all preparing for a final last stand. But we'll see how it works out. You see my Dale Marksmen still trying to fire down there and help out my Paladins and Swordmasters who have been holding on for just so long, but the flanking maneuvers of these oh my gosh, blackbacks here and there, and also all of the missile fire is going to pretty much be the end of my brave Paladins and Swordmasters who were holding here for so long. They're basically holding here for the whole battle. You can see I've also got my 10 Dale Paladins there. Yep. Okay, so there goes one of the enemy generals. I believe that was Evocati Phones. It looks like the general was in one of the units of Blackwatch Legion. But there is another unit of Blackwatch Legion of Farah marching over here, so if they're able to push through my units here, that's definitely not going to be good for my guys. Oh, actually, that looks like a very nice screenshot. I believe actually, I might have actually already taken a picture of the screenshot, but we'll see. I think it looks cool. Anyway, I believe there was a total of 25,000 troops, over 25,000 troops in this whole battle. You can see that there's actually 25 leftover Blackback Mountain Berserkers coming up here to take out the last of my 20 Dale Paladins who are currently taking out those crossbowmen. My Spearmen over here, now down to a meager 36. Dismounted Earls still at 75, actually. They're holding relatively strongly against those units there. There's Blackwatch Legion now marching over here, going to try to push through the last of my Dalian Spearmen, Barden Herd, as well as LakeTown Infantry. So right here, I know I'm probably going to lose this fight, which is kind of obvious because I retreat a lot of my stuff. But again, that was fine by me because, yeah, there goes my general actually too. So that's I lost my general. That's gonna, yeah, these oh, come on, because of the shield wall push, it looks like these LakeTown Infantry who are at 118 look like they might actually be wanting to rout, which is not going to be good for me at all. Then again, nothing really has been going very good for the defenders this whole battle, so that's yeah, not going to be any better. There's my LakeTown Infantry. You can see the catapult of myself and Dark Elven King. Well, actually, Dark Elven King's catapult is pretty much destroyed, but right here you can see that the Dutchman and Ragnar are not far behind the retreating troops of Dark Elven King. They're actually going to be able to sneak through these Dalian Paladins, which is definitely not going to bode well for us, because as it is, our troops are thin enough on the ground, so I'm actually going to have to try to commit my LakeTown Infantry here to try and hold back these Black Ark Warband, but it's not going to be very effective. Actually, it looks like my own catapult took out Dark Elven Kings. You can see my Dragon Slayers are here as well. And here comes some more Blackbacks that are completely healthy. Looks like they're going to try to sneak around the flank, this right flank here, along with the Goblin Infantry. Oh my gosh, this is just not going. This is not going well at all. Look at that balance of power. That looks nice. Just now have actually managed to take out half of the enemies. Good catapult hit there. A little bit of friendly fire, but not too horrible. Again, at this point, we were really just kind of trying to take out as many enemies with us. You can actually see there's a flanking maneuver right here by these Dark Elven King's Dale Swordmasters. Looks like they kind of were trying to go on a different route as the Paladins, so they're going to be stuck out here, but they might be able to get, yeah, it looks like they're going to get a nice charge off and a good flanking attack. It's actually hit Dark Elven King's second unit of Paladins right here going to do the same, so that's kind of cool. But again, you can see the Blackbacks just creeping through that side right there. Gonna probably come over here and try to silence my catapult. We've got my Dale Dragon Slayers here. Paladins and Swordmasters still actually still reasonably healthy for how long they've been fighting. Only 28 Swordmasters, but there's still 54 Paladins. Over here though, my 14 Paladins. really struggling against those 22 blackbacks. Snow trolls coming in. Heavy goblin halberds not behind, not far behind. Smattered earls. Dale and spearman shaking, probably in a rout. So yeah, I've just got my marksman still firing as much as possible. And here's the 103 completely healthy blackback members berserkers now coming to silence my catapult. So yeah, all around things are not looking very good, especially right here. ZYX's flank, all of his troops are dead now, and he's got nothing defending this area right here basically. Looks like there's actually a few of the units that had routed returned now. So we're going to have to try to plug up that hole as quickly as possible, but it's not really going to happen, I don't think. Over here, well, ZYX has a few units over here, but for the most part, everything is dead of his. And over here, you can see that my defending units have been taken out. And Pharaoh is marching in most of his troops. They're just running amok through the cities of Dale. Does not look good for these brave men who have been fighting for so long. Yeah, okay, so now we've got wargs. We got more Blackwatch Legion gonna come in and take out the last of my paladins. And swordmasters, who actually look like they might rout, which is unfortunate, but again, with the loss of the general, it's not very surprising. Yeah, they're wavering? Ah, come on guys, you've been fighting for so long, don't rout now. It might not, just depends. Wow, but dismounted earls have been fighting for so long against these Blackwatch Legion. They haven't got very many kills, obviously, but, you know, they've been fighting for a long time, so. Oh man, over here, Dark Elven King has just not had a very fun time of it. You can see his swordmasters and paladins still flanking around. Looks like most of the swordmasters were taken out. They were trying to get their way through here, but yeah. And now these paladins who were flanking are now going to get flanked by some goblin infantry. Not going to be too terrible for them, terribly hard for them to take out, but there's a lot of units back there still. And now there's some Black Urk Warband sneaking through. I'm trying to get these infantry to take out these Black Urk Warband. There's still Black Uruks of the Mountain and Blackback Mountain Berserkers just running amok everywhere, killing everything in sight. So, yeah, definitely does not look good here. I've got my Dale and Spearmen here to try to hold back these Blackwatch Legion and Orc Bodyguards, Orc Halberds, and stuff like that. But really, really all hope is lost at this point. You can see all my defending units over there, except with the exception of the dismounted Earls on the wall, have been completely taken out. So I've got my Dalian marksmen here trying to hold this line, but they're going to get charged right from behind by these Black Urk Warband. At the same time as they're going to get charged from the front by the mounted Orc Berserkers and Ward Riders, and everything that is behind them. So definitely not looking good for us. I believe I've got my, both my own and ZYX's Dragon Slayers are here trying to hold back this horde of troops coming from this western side of Dale. I mean, you can just tell that just complete chaos is ensuing right now. I mean, like, there's like random pockets of blackbacks just like chanting. There's blackbacks going after the catapult. There's tons of flanking going on. It's just pretty much all hope is lost at this point. Dale Paladin still holding there. Oh, 83 to 58%. Not a close battle, but still, I thought it was fun. I enjoyed playing it. At the end, I got very annoyed, mostly just because of how many freaking Blackback Mountain Berserkers they still had alive. But, you know, that's just kind of how it is. And I can't really retreat my Dalian Spearmen over here to help fight against these Blackbacks or Black Urk Warband because of the amount of Pharaoh's troops right here, so they're just going to have to sit here and wait. Hopefully not get charged from behind. Just not a good time to be a man from Dale. Well, I guess you could still be a man of Dale. Well, from Dale, just not... You just need to make sure you're not in Dale at this time. Looks like all my paladins and swordmasters have finally been taken out. However, they definitely did a very good job. They definitely made many orcs pay for crossing that gate. 74 dismounted earls. My spearmen looks like they're pretty much all taken out. They're wavering, actually. And just all around, there's just orcs and goblins streaming through the streets of Dale. Dragon Slayer is going to do actually better than most. Well, obviously, in melee, you can actually see they're actually taking quite a toll on those Blackback Mountain Berserkers, but because they're relatively low in numbers, with the advance of all these troops right here of McDonald's service and stuff, they're going to get pushed through kind of easily. You can see right here, my Dalian Spearmen are now fighting against the Uruk Halberd, or no, Heavy Goblin Halberds. They're actually not going to do. You can see that the Heavy Goblin Halberds are actually taking a decent amount of losses compared to my Dalian Spearmen, so that's good. But I believe And there goes, I believe, Dark Goblin King's general. Yeah. But, yeah, the heavy Goblin Halberd are actually not doing good at all against my Spearmen. But, I believe he actually pulls them back, and he just sits them there because that's, you know, forcing my unit to stay there. But I can't, like, obviously run them around to help out my other units. Blackback Mounted Berserkers. Another unit that is completely healthy. See, that is just, that was just so irking to me. So irking. And again, these guys are going to flank our pretty much weakest point right here. These 107 Dalian marksmen trying to hold back the horde of orcs, but not going to really be very good at it. I'm trying to support them with some LakeTown infantry, but it's not going to happen, especially because these 73 Blackback Mounted Berserkers have just finished killing off my catapult crew. They're now going to flank these LakeTown infantry who are trying to help out my Dalian marksmen. Over here, Dragon Slayers are still fighting strong, but they're not going to be able to win the battle for us by any means. We actually really did a good job of cutting down those Blackback Mounted Berserkers, but we just weren't able to take out enough of them early game. I feel like it would have been a lot more... I feel like it would have been way closer if we had made a rule of only like one Blackback Mountain Berserker per Misty Mountains army. But there's really nothing we can do about that. So it's fine. Well, there's really nothing we can do about that now anyway. Maybe when the new patch comes out, we'll retry this with the much more balanced version of the game. Yeah, Dalian Marksmen being cut down from all sides now. There's trolls, there's wargs, there's Blackback Mounted Berserkers, and it's really not going well for us at all. I'm probably gonna put it up to normal speed now, and we can just sit here and kind of just watch the massacre of our troops, because obviously I don't think there's gonna be any turn in the tides of battle. This Mad Arrow's now getting flanked by those Blackwatch Legion. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just put it back to 1 speed, because I think I think you guys kind of know what's gonna happen or who's gonna win. The lag is very nice, very nice. But again, that's to be expected with a battle with this many buildings and this big of a settlement with over 25,000 troops. 18,000 goblins. That is just so many goblins. Oh my goodness. Yeah, 18,000 goblins versus just over 7,200 men of Dale. And it's just, that just shows how cheap and cost effective most of the Misty Mountain units are. See, the Dragon Slayers are getting pushed through right now. But anyway, because every army was able to bring Orc bodyguards, which are 1,000 florins, and 2 units of the Blackback Mounted Berserkers, which are each 1,200, and 2 units of the Blackwatch Legion, which are 700 each. And they still had enough money left over to bring a pretty decent Misty Mountains armies left over, so yeah, that's not very good. See, my Dalian Marksmen pretty much all destroyed now. The Dragon Slayers were just getting pushed through and killed. My Spearmen are still doing okay. Over here, the Paladins of Dark Elven King and some of my LakeTown infantry are trying to hold their own, but they're definitely starting to succumb to the just overwhelming numbers of goblins. Yeah, you can see the Dragon Slayers just been completely pushed through. Not too many frames left in the battle now. To be honest, it wasn't a very long battle frames-wise for such a big siege with so many numbers. But then again, that's just because the rules that I made were not very balanced. I'm not very smart. Anyway, yeah, it's just all around. You can see the Men of Dale getting cut down left and right. You can see there's some Snugga skirmishers throwing their javelins to the back of my spearmen. Not doing too much damage, but still. Only we could have our catapult crew back. Just fire this huge blob right here. All 4 choke points right now being hit. One still holding relatively firm, but that's only because these units have not decided to attack me back yet. But the other 2, especially the west and east roads, are just getting absolutely overwhelmed. Dalian Paladin's still trying to hold on there. Still doing not bad. Yeah, and then that was me. At this point I was just pissed. I was so mad that there were still so many freaking Blackback Mountain Berserkers and troops. I was like, come on. You only managed to kill 65% of them? So I was like, well, I was going to admit defeat. I'm just triggered. I just want this battle to end. So I was just like mega triggered. So that's just going to be it for me. My Spearmen might have been able to hold for a little bit longer, but their end would have been the same as all the other men of Dale. Again, they actually did not do bad against these heavy Goblin halberds. There's only 100 of them left. Well, that's like 99.
Our enemy has command of the city.
They're even taking the Cindy Center now, actually. Paladins, man, they're so strong. I mean, my Swordmasters and Paladins were holding at that gate for so long, and Dark Elven King's Paladins right here are holding for a very long time, too.
Defeat seems almost certain.
I think we might have killed a little bit over 11,000 goblins in total. If it's 65%, yeah, 65% of the, yeah. So we killed like 11,000-ish goblins. Hey, give or take a few hundred goblins. Doesn't, you know, who cares about goblins? I mean, come on. They're even worse than orcs. Who are worse than Uruks, who are worse than Uruk. Oh, can we get a little bit? A little bit of friendly fire there from the goblins, but not enough to turn anything in our favor. I would put it up to 6 speed, but I feel like it would be going, just because the lag would be like even slower. We'll try it. You can already see that all around some of the goblins aren't even fighting anymore. They're just kind of sitting around, waiting for the end, waiting for the end of these last of the men of Dale, so they can just go around pillaging all these houses and buildings and stuff, and begin the sack and burning of Dale. See, there's already some buildings burning, but I believe that was from the missed catapult shots of my own catapult when I was firing down there. I got a few good hits, but not a ton, not enough, not as many as I needed. I don't know what that catapult was firing at, because it looks like it's firing straight at those Snaga skirmishers, basically. Paladins, man. Very strong, but again, they are like a 1,300 foreign unit each, and you can bring 2 of them before the price increase. They are AP, have multiple hit points, really nice attack and defense values. There goes another Dale general. Yeah, and there go the Paladins. They're breaking now. I'm trying to think. I believe that the Paladins have maybe like 37 defense, 2 hit points, but I don't remember how much attack they have, to be honest with you. But I know they are AP because they've got those freaking huge 2-handed maces. Very cost-effective unit. Well, I guess you couldn't really call them cost-effective because they're so expensive, but wow, they can do a lot of work. I'm trying to think. I might be able to post this kind of soon. I'm filming it on what? 30th of January. I'm hoping to be able to post it soon, but again, the whole internet issue is still going on. Ooh, there was some Blackwatch Legion to friendly fire. More Blackwatch Legion to friendly fire, but also I am maybe gonna start working on some Empire Total War videos. That seems kind of fun. Might also look into doing some Fortnite. I do have that game for PS4. It's very fun. Anyway, so you can see that the battle was not very close. I think we only killed like 65%, so like a total of like 11,000 something orcs. You can add up the kills right here if you want. So I got the most kills. I got 6,171 kills. Dark Elven King got 2,100, and ZYX got 3,300. ZYX having a very small army, but again, that's kind of to be expected because he did have 2 units of Dale Dragon Slayers, and well, I shudder to think how expensive that last unit of Dragon Slayers cost. But it looks like the most kills for the attackers definitely went to the Dutchman, getting almost 2,000 kills. He and Ragnar were the ones fighting, mostly fighting against Dark Elven King, although they did send a lot of units over to flame ZYX. Take a quick look at some of the kills. All my archers did well. Earls did okay, but they died too early. All my spearmen did well. Catapult got 236 kills. LakeTown infantry actually didn't do too bad. Dismounted Earls got 262 kills. Dale Paladins got 311 and 392. My first unit Barding Herd got wrecked by those Berserkers, but the other one did pretty well. Dark Elven King's most kills for unit was, I'm assuming, the Paladins. Oh, he only had one unit of this matter. Or, no, he had 2 Dalian Paladins, yeah. 267 for that one. Looks like that was the most kills for his, most kills for that one unit. And then ZYX, most kills for him was the Dale Dinosaurs, getting 510, 364. Those Paladins were not too terribly far behind. Actually, one of his units of Dismounted Earls got 343 kills, the other got 227. Then again, they're kind of similar to the Wardens of the White Tower, except you can bring 2 of them before the price increase. I think they do have hit points and like over 30 defense and maybe like 15-ish attack. Don't quote me on that, I'm probably wrong. But again, a very fun battle, not by any means close, but again, it was very fun. And yeah, the men of Dale got utterly waifed by the hordes and hordes of goblins and other troops from the Misty Mountains. So again, big thank you to all the players involved. This is actually a quite old replay. But yeah, I thought it was cool. So I think that's all. So farewell wherever you fare, till your riders receive you at your journeys and